All right, Bobby, you're our intro guy.
Today is a special day, and today is a podcast where we talk about that special day. Hi, my name's Bobby Parker.
And I'm Joey Nickel.
Welcome to Today Is.
All right, we're in a different location today.
Yeah.
We're in the lobby bar of the Comedy Zone at the Ramada Inn in Jacksonville right now. We had a little scheduling.
Yeah. It looks like the road trip that we started last week came to fruition. And
yeah, so this is where we ended up.
yes.
Right here. We ended up just a couple minutes away. But we, no, you're good. So we, this is a public place, so there's going to be people walking by and stuff.
Yeah. It is what happened. My schedule is crazy this week. That kind of what it is, and some crazy like this is a weird update that I just want to share. I'm not able to like get in a whole lot of details, but some news like last Thursday, my wife found out that she was going to lose her job.
Oh no!
Yeah, which stinks.
What does she do?
She's a paralegal legal secretary.
Okay.
She works the law office, right?
Okay.
So
you're gonna get mad that you don't know the answer to that question very well.
No, because it goes. She does it all.
Okay, so she does a lot, but she works for a law firm.
Law firm. So they're like, hey, we don't think it's a great fit,
Oh, really?
And it was one of those things where she didn't know what was going on. They're like, oh, we already found a replacement, and so like we're gonna pay you through the end of this week, and like the end of this week that we're in right now, the end of May.
Yeah.
And just don't come in anymore, right? So.
Huh.
No, and she's already got her, looking for another job, interviews lined up, stuff like that. We're not worried about it. Well, this is where it gets interesting, right?
Okay.
Tuesday, the first day, because Memorial Day is a holiday. Tuesday, the first day, this new person is supposed to start work, shows up late, like half an hour late, comes in the office. My wife wasn't there. This is all secondhand. Came into the office, obviously intoxicated.
Oh.
Broke a $1,000 espresso machine.
Huh.
Went into the bathroom, and there was concern that the person was using narcotics in the bathroom.
But this is the person that they hired
to replace my wife. And was promptly...
And she's thinking, well, if that's what you're looking for, then certainly this is not a good fit.
And that person was promptly fired within 4 hours of arriving.
All right.
Late.
Okay.
And they called my wife and said, you are a great fit. Please come back.
Turns out we were way off. You cannot trust our judgment about anything.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
My wife has the rest of this week off while she's making that. We don't know exactly what our plans are, but I talked to her extensively, and she's like, "Yeah, you can share that part."
Yeah.
We've spent a long weekend kind of figuring out what we're doing, and then that news kind of hit.
Yeah,
like, oh my,
crazy.
We've got to make some decisions because we don't know where we're going with that.
All right, so job is secure at this point. She's okay. She goes back to work when?
Probably on Monday, but we're not sure.
We're not sure yet.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's pretty crazy. Can I speculate?
Please.
I think that was somebody's friend or relative, right? And they're like, they needed a job, and your wife was probably lower on the totem pole, and they're like, well, we want to give this person a job, so we'll fire her and give this friend or somebody a job. Because how would you? I mean, that'd be a tough one to show up the first day.
First day.
To show up the first day intoxicated or on something.
Yeah.
We won't want to speculate. Allegedly intoxicated.
Obviously having problems.
Obviously having some sort of impairment by substance.
Right. Yeah.
To show up the first day, that can't be like, that's not something that somebody does on a whim. Like,
Right,
that's
yeah.
not something that happens like, oh, they've been a model employee until one day.
Yeah. You know what the problem is? You can't let somebody start at the end of a 3-day week.
Yeah, that was the problem.
You gotta give them
that. Yeah,
you gotta give them a buffer.
it's their fault, honestly.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. They were a friend or a relative or something, and they were giving them a job, and they didn't have any openings, so they had to fire somebody for it. Or it could have been one person's friend, and they vouched for them or something like that.
Yeah,
the rest of the office didn't even know, but because there's no way that's the first thing that person has done. Now, maybe they went to rehab and they just got out of rehab or something.
Yeah,
they thought they'd be okay, something like that. I don't know. It's got to be something like that.
And I will say I do not know the name of this person at all. I just want to say I hope that person gets help.
Yeah,
please.
Right.
Please.
I mean, if you're making the decision to show up, or the non-decision even to show up intoxicated to work, that's pretty rough.
Right.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
First day. That's the thing.
First day.
First day. It's not even like they discovered it later. They're like, oh, well, we didn't even know. And first day. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. You got to take the edge off before you go into work on the first day.
Yeah, right.
You probably have got to smooth some edges out on other things in your life.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And then I also don't sleep great in the best of times, so I haven't slept a whole lot.
So school's wrapping up, though.
Yes.
You guys going on any vacations or anything?
We had a couple things kind of planned for the end of summer because my son has got some theater camps that he wanted to do at the beginning of the summer, but that's kind of on hold while we figure some things out. We do have a trip planned definitively up in the Atlanta area in August that I am trying to find some scheduling for. Yeah.
All right. Well, we travel all the time. So yes. we have right now. I think my mother-in-law is trying to plan a trip for Monday, and we might go on a cruise on Monday.
Oh, wow!
Just last minute.
Very last minute cruise.
But yeah, we travel all the time. We've got a trip to Ohio planned. We've got all kinds of trips.
What part of Ohio, may I ask?
We haven't talked about this yet. I'm going back to Canton for a family reunion.
Oh, awesome!
So,
I was not aware.
Now I'm trying to get a show set up while I'm there, and because then I'm thinking I can sell tickets to everybody at the family reunion, and we could, I'm hoping I can get at least 30 people somewhere. To buy tickets. I contacted the comedy club that's in that area.
Crackers?
Or in Crackpots in Maslin. Yeah.
Crackpots.
Yeah. I contacted Crackpots in Maslin. They seem to be the closest one. And they're, it seemed like an independent room too. So,
right, yep.
But no, I didn't hear. I've contacted them last week and nothing. I got nothing back. So,
okay.
But now, this weekend I featured for a lady here. I think last time we talked on the podcast, I was trying to get on the show.
Yes.
But I did get on the show. I featured for Yamanika Saunders this past weekend. All 5 shows. It was awesome. She was amazing. She was great. She did give me a lead on somebody to contact in Ohio about trying to get a show set up there. So that was good. But she was great. I saw her at the Comedy Cellar in New York. Okay. I knew that she was hilarious.
Yes.
She was so good at telling stories and stuff like that, and I knew that I wanted to work with her. I knew it was going to be a fun show. So I did, and it was great. It was a great show. I had some really great sets, a really good audience. It was a really fun time. Did you see where Amir went? He was on the show with me.
He is right behind you at the desk.
Amir. Wait, do you have to stay there? Are you working the desk right now? Come here. Yeah. You're a guest on the podcast now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, Come sit in this chair. We're just talking about this past weekend with Yamanika.
Oh yeah, okay, let's do it.
All right, so this is Amir Schuman.
Hey people, how we doing? Hi internet. We good?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm asking them how they're doing. That's a weird thing to do.
It's because you are a polite man, Amir.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I know about you.
All right.
All right, so Amir just is here randomly. Oh, just so you know, we do make this family friendly. This podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to warn you.
No cursing.
Yeah,
All right, I got you.
kids watch the podcast. So.
Not a problem.
So I just wanted to. Okay, you want to introduce yourself a little bit? How long you been doing comedy? Where are you from?
Okay, my name's Amir Schuman. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I've been doing comedy for about 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
All right, that went a lot faster than I thought it would. So he was our MC.
Yeah, I was doing a thing.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun this weekend.
It was fun. Yeah.
Now, how many? You've MC'd what? 4 times, 3 times?
Let's see.
Maybe more. I don't know.
Adam, TK, Yamanika, and 4. I think this was the 4th one. Yeah.
This was the 4th one. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. What was your what was your assessment of Yamanika? Had you seen her before?
I had never seen her before. No.
What was it? What was your assessment of her? She was great. I thought she was hilarious.
Yeah, she was awesome. Like very loud. Like
Yes.
even like just hanging out with her. She's a loud person. I played like a Godzilla like a VR game with her. Oh my God, she was just screaming the whole time. You just have to shoot Godzilla. And she's just like, ah! Like, the whole time.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. So after the Thursday show, she's like, "We're going to Dave and Buster's tomorrow." And we're like, "Okay." But then the Friday show ended too late to go to Dave and Buster's, so we found what's the Leaderboard? We found Leaderboard was open till 2 a.m. So we went there and hung out there. Did you go to Dave and Buster's on Saturday with her?
Yeah, Dave and Buster's was Saturday. Yeah. So that's where I played the Godzilla thing. That was fun.
Yeah, I was too tired. I had to get.
I was too tired. I was chugging Red Bulls.
I know,
I
right?
felt bad. I didn't want her to go by herself. I was just like, I told her I'd go. I'm doing it. I gotta go.
Yeah.
If you had said you weren't going, I probably would have gone because I would have felt bad too. Because it's like that's kind of I don't know why, but it seems sad to go to Dave and Buster's by yourself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I can only imagine.
There's nothing sadder than going to Dave and Buster's by yourself.
Yeah, that would suck. But it really I started thinking about it. Like that's how road comicking must have been back in the day.
I think it still is sometimes.
Still is, yeah, but like you're just really in a whole nother city. You don't know anybody. And you just have to either make friends or just chill in your hotel room for days.
I had an experience like that. I went up actually to watch specials being filmed in Georgia.
Oh yeah,
and it was the Honest Fox media special.
Danny Johnson.
So it was Dan.
Hey, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, so him and a bunch of people down from Nashville.
Was Derek Nickerson in that one?
Dustin Nickerson.
Dustin Nickerson?
Yeah, he was there. Brian Bates was there.
Yeah.
But you know, it was great. You know, and Danny was on Friday night, so I spent the night Friday night. And he told me, hey, I also get to go on Saturday. Somebody had to drop out last minute, sickness kind of thing. I'm like, cool. I didn't have a hotel for Saturday night. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch it and drive back. You know, I've done late shows, but I'm like, I didn't have anywhere to hang out during the day. So I'm like, it was like a nice town square. So I just kind of walked around the town square, kind of walked into businesses, looked around, sat down, read a book, left. Just looked at everything in this town square, talked to like 4 people during the day. It was cool, but by the time the show started, I'm like, I'm so tired of just walking around doing nothing.
You get so bored.
Yeah.
You get so.
I had something happen like that in Atlanta. I just went to Atlanta, and I had the Airbnb for 2 days, but then I got booked on some stuff, so I needed to stay longer.
Right.
But they didn't have availability in the Airbnb, so I had to switch to another one. Same problem. Middle of the day, had nowhere to stay. So what I did was I went to some car dealerships, and I took test drives for a bunch of shit that I couldn't afford. Yeah, that
I
was
didn't even
fun.
think of that.
That's a fun one.
That's a new one. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, just go,
I didn't even think of that.
I don't feel like I could go to like a really nice car dealership, but like Toyotas and stuff. They were like, oh yeah, okay, this guy can afford a Toyota. Like,
hit up like a CarMax. They've got the variety. Yeah.
Man, I never even thought of doing that. That might be a fun.
Wasted some dude's time. But
yeah, that's true.
Just don't give them, obviously, don't give them your social security number. Can't run any credit checks. You'll be good. But that's what I did to kill like a few hours.
So, did you just come up with that on your own, or did somebody give you that idea?
Well, I was looking for a car like a few months ago, and then when they wanted me to test drive like all the different things, I was like, oh, I guess I could just come do this like whenever I wanted. And then I just really needed something to do.
That's so funny. I mean, movies are usually the go-to.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes there's just no good movies playing or whatever. Or just that used to be my go-to was movies. I've done a lot of road gigs and and when you're at our level, that is a common thing to be leaving the night of the last show, so you don't have a hotel that night. So then you're getting out at like 10 or 11, and then you're just hanging out. Here's my road thing, though, is comic book shops. I find local comic book shops, and I find toy shops and stuff like that. And I've actually turned it into a thing. I do a lot of social media with it. And then sometimes I'll contact them ahead of time and be like, hey, do you mind if I come record a video? And then I would say 8 out of 10, they'll give me something free. Because I contact them ahead of time. I tell them I'm going to record a video and promote their business. And like, hey, you want to... And then they look at my stuff and they see I do a lot of toy reviews. I'm like, hey, you want this free thing? It's usually something they haven't been able to sell or something like that, but it'll be something cool. And then I'll do a video about it and then post it on social media and tag them and stuff.
That's nice.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact banks and be like, hey, I would like to try out some of your money and see like if they're willing to like.
You're like, I'm an influencer.
Yeah.
I want to see if it deposits.
Yeah.
Like, does it spend? Let's see.
We'd like to test out some of your money here at the bank. We need to. Now you can come with us on this test drive. But we're going to spend it.
Yeah. What's the farthest you guys have gone for comedy? Because Atlanta was the farthest for me so far.
The farthest to get paid, or the farthest that I've gone to perform?
Okay.
Those are two different answers.
Oh, man,
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
The farthest to get paid, I guess.
The farthest to get paid has been Atlanta or Miami, depending on the. It's relatively the same. Right?
Is the non-paid answer farther?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the non-paid answer is always farther.
Why is it farther to not get paid?
Because here's now. Let's take this back. Let's track back a little bit. I'm gonna answer this question like the furthest I've gone to do comedy, but not for the sole purpose of doing comedy, is probably D.C., Washington D.C. area. So New York. I did a show. I've obviously New York, but in Canada, I've been up to New York, but I didn't travel there to do comedy. I traveled there to do something else, and then I did a show there, which I didn't get paid. Except for Canada, I did get paid. So that's the furthest I've gone.
Nice. Okay.
To get paid is Canada. The furthest I've gone to get paid.
The international one is that's good.
But I wasn't we were on a family vacation and I added it.
Oh, okay.
But the furthest I've gone where that's the only thing I was intending to do there and get paid is either Key West or where's the Louisiana? Where's the university? Baton Rouge? Is it in Baton Rouge?
LSU?
Yeah, LSU. Yeah. It's in Baton Rouge, right?
Yeah.
So I did go to Baton Rouge for a show, which is about a 9-hour drive. And the Keys are about an 8-hour drive. So similar distance, but the Baton Rouge one, I did not get paid very much. And the Keys one, I got paid a normal amount of decent comedy and accommodations. So, so the furthest to get paid, I guess, that was the only reason I had to go there. Probably Baton Rouge is the furthest.
That was a very detailed answer. I will give a less detailed one. I was invited to perform at a pop-up comedy festival in Las Vegas, presented by Kenan Thompson. He was there. He was awesome. I got to meet him, hang out with him a little bit.
Nice.
And
Is that your unpaid? Is that what you're saying? You're counting that as unpaid?
It's unpaid. I had to foot the bill to get there.
Yeah.
And do it. But I got to perform at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club twice. Two different showcases. Got to meet a bunch of industry people. Was told what I needed to do. Like, hey, you need more social media, you need this, you have to work on this, and so I went out there. It was a business trip for me, but I got to perform.
I feel like there are levels of not getting paid also, where it's like that's a little different than just like, hey, we got this open mic in Atlanta, come do that or whatever, you know. I feel like that is a little different, but yeah, that is pretty far to go to not get paid.
Yeah,
but it was useful.
Yeah,
it was a productive trip.
I also got to go perform at night on a stage in Vegas, backstage with Keenan.
Did you do Vegas stuff? While you were in Vegas? I probably can't talk about too much of it if you did.
I don't like to gamble and those things. So I walked up and down the strip. I went to like a really cool restaurant. Like after
going to cool restaurants is fun in Vegas. After the show, just walking down the strip, going, and like somebody stopped me like outside the restaurant, like, hey, we saw you perform, you were awesome. Oh, that's
I'm like,
cool.
I'm walking in here like
that's worth the price of admission right there.
It was one of the top moments of my life, absolutely. Vegas
cool.
Strip, people telling me they saw me and I was funny.
Yeah,
man, that's cool.
That is awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, so I mean, you didn't get paid, but you got paid in other ways.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, never mind.
Yeah, and
it is Vegas, not.
and the credit cards are still getting paid. So,
well, that's cool. That's how I feel about That's how I feel about going to New York. Is like, I didn't get paid for any of the shows I did in New York, but it was worth it to do it. All the shows there, but I was there for a vacation anyway. But
apparently that's one of those places like you gotta really show face for like they gotta see you for a while to do anything in New York. So.
It's not the kind of place that you can just. Now I will say this: now that I've gone and I've seen what it's like there, I could probably set up my own show at some point because my uncle lives out there. Oh, cool. So like I could probably get a venue to let me do a show, like an off night show, and invite my uncle and all his friends and stuff like that, and come and sell tickets to them, and they'd probably let me do it. There's plenty of venues out there, I'll say. You just got to plan ahead and like, you know, did you know Brennan Tassif?
Yeah, he's back in.
He's back in town. Yeah. So I hung out with him a lot while I was out there, and he set up got a venue and set up a one-man show one time. Wow. Just some theater. There's just a lot of venues like that out there. Yeah. So like I'm not like I don't see myself like getting booked at a comedy club out there to do a weekend or something. They don't really even do that in New York a lot. Yeah. But I could probably get a venue to give me a space and cut them in on a ticket sale kind of thing. So I could probably do a professional show in New York if I wanted to organize that. I'd have to, you know, obviously it would be a lot of upfront cost if I had to fly out there and get a hotel and stuff like that. Well, I probably wouldn't need a hotel. I can stay with my uncle probably, but anyway, there's plenty of ways to make money and do stuff like that when you're creative.
Yeah, I want to go out there and check it out soon.
I would recommend it. We did a whole episode about my trip. Yeah. I would recommend it. I mean, if you're able to get out there, even if you're not getting paid or anything like that, I recommend doing it. It's like a dream. It's like a fantasy baseball camp of comedy. Like you can just spend just days and days on McDougal Street, going to the clubs there and seeing famous comics, just walking down the street, just normal. I can't. I met like 5 or 6 comics that I idolize, just like walking on McDougal Street.
Yeah, that's probably the thing I think I'll probably chill on now, because like I'm starting to get kind of cool meeting people I've seen on Netflix. Like I can almost contain myself. Like I think I was cool with Yamanika. I think I was like,
you did pretty good with Yamanika.
I was chill. I was like, all right, cool. Like one time, like I was in Orlando and I did a coffee shop show, and like T.I. wanted to pull up because he's doing comedy and everything. Yeah, he's actually doing the grind. But he came into the coffee shop because I didn't think he was actually going to come, and like a Sprinter van pulls up, And then he walks in, I actually see it's him, and I shout out. I was like, T.I.! I shouted that out like a little girl, man. And yeah, so now I'm getting better. I'm getting better at doing that, because it is like, do you guys remember the first person like you saw?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Was it?
Yeah. Tom Segura was one.
Yeah.
That was like the first famous comic that I met here at the Comedy Zone.
Yeah.
And he was so cool, though. Yeah, he was so cool and down to earth. This is before he was before he was super famous. I think he had
Netflix
he had one Netflix, I think, at that point. Yeah. And he was so cool. And then the next time I tried to be cooler, the next time I met him, and then he at least acted like he remembered me, which I thought was cool. Where he's like, I remember you. And I was like, that was pretty cool. So he's the kind of guy that can help you. He's just at least at the time, he was just such a regular dude. It's like he was real easy at being cool around him. But the first comic I opened for, I won't say who it was because I'm very embarrassed. First comic I worked with at the Comedy Zone, I was just stupid the whole weekend. It was just dumb. And he got annoyed at me, and I didn't even know he was annoyed because he was friends with other comics and they were hanging out, and then I was just kind of tagging along kind of thing, which would have been cool if I had been cool, if I had just acted cool, and then but I was stupid, and then I don't know, it was dumb. I hated it. Afterwards, I was like, that was embarrassing. And then so the next time I opened for somebody, which was Ali Sadiq, was the next time I opened for somebody here. I was like, I gotta make an effort to be cool, to just act like it's cool, and it was. I think I did a pretty good job. I think only one time ever have I broken the cool, and where I couldn't help it, and I think that was for Kyle Kinane, which I wasn't working with him, so it wasn't as bad because I wasn't actually on a show with him or anything. I just because Chris Buck was opening for him. And I was just eating with them afterwards, and I didn't say anything to him. I don't think he noticed I was being ridiculous. But afterwards, Marcus Crespo was like, "You were looking at him like you were in love with him the entire time." It was, and I had no idea that I was making this schoolgirl face at him the entire time. Now I purposefully did not sit close to him. I sat kind of away a little bit, and I had a couple conversational things with him. I don't think he noticed. I think it was fine, but Marcus Crespo has been making fun of me for it ever since. This was 3 years ago.
I sadly have a similar one, but it wasn't called out on it. But one of my favorite comedians also runs a couple podcasts named Dan Cummins. Yeah, he's phenomenal. Love him. He's not doing as much stand up now. I know. I wish he would. Ditto. He's hotting it up. Yeah, he is. He's hilarious. He's building an empire, man. Yeah. He's great. But he was here, and Buck was opening for him, and has opened for him a lot. So kind of know. But I'm geeking out. And he had just had an episode drop where he talked very specifically about peanut butter and apple cider. And I'm I'm gonna do a really cool fan thing. I bought a thing of peanut butter and apple cider, and I left it backstage with a note hey, this is from Love Jacksonville, something like that. And I'm and he came out on the stage, he's yeah, somebody left this backstage, just random joke. And I'm I can't admit to that now. I'm I can't be that weird dude now.
It's man, I hate when these weirdos do this stuff.
Oh no. And then everyone's, it was a bunch of comedians and Buck hey man, we're gonna hang out afterwards. I'm I'm gonna go. I'm
I'm too embarrassed.
I'm too
You're better than me. No,
I'm not gonna do this.
I tell you, that same night there was a comic there that had no shame, and I won't say their name, but they like roped them into being interviewed for a podcast, and I don't think he knew he was about to be interviewed for a podcast, because he's like, he introduced himself, and he's like, and he's like, oh, okay. He's like, I'm a comic too, and he's like, hey, do you mind if I do a video with you real quick? And I think he's thinking like this, like, hey, this is Dan Cummins, all that. But he takes him over to the bar. He had equipment set up, and then he ended up interviewing him for a podcast for like, I don't know how long. It was like 30 minutes maybe. And Buck and I were just sitting over there, and we're just like, what in the world? Like, I won't say who it is.
Yeah.
If they listen to the podcast, you're gonna know who you are. But I mean, that was his hustle, I guess. That's his hustle. He's like, he's like, hey, can I do a video with you for a minute? Psych, you're on a podcast for 30 minutes.
Trapped.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing. Sometimes I do think about that, like all the people I've opened for here. I'm like, I could have just had them on a podcast probably and had a good catalog of interviews of podcasts and stuff.
The guy when I was in Orlando, Jake Ricka, he lives in Austin now, and he's.
Oh yeah, I know Jake.
Yeah. That's what he said. He was like, yeah, He was trying to set all the stuff up. He was like, okay, like I got the Don't Tell, I got like Milk, I got like a couple other shows, and then you got the Pod too. So it's like, because I mean they're here. Like from out of state or whatever.
Right, and
they're not doing anything.
Yeah, they've got time.
Like, you might as well like do the podcast.
There's two comics I probably could have had Yamanika on a podcast or something.
Maybe,
But I was too worried. I was really wanted to get good recordings of my sets, and so I was kind of focused on that. But I probably could have she probably would have said yes. She was so cool. She was so like up for anything kind of.
She was awesome. Yeah.
And then no, I just forgot his name. He does the sound effects and the voices and. Dang it! I'm so sorry. Greg Morton. Yeah,
Greg Morton.
We're friends now, and I feel so bad that I forgot Greg's name. And sometimes he listens to the podcast. Greg Morton. So we had just started the podcast, like when I was working with him,
right?
And he even said, "It's like, oh, I want to be on the podcast," and I was like, "Oh, well, we're not." I should have just recorded one, anyway. But I was like, "Oh, we're not recording tomorrow," and I was like, "Why did I do that? Why didn't I just set one up? I could have just come by and recorded with him or something." But
I would have showed up.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway. But he said next time he's in town, he'd like to be on the podcast. But he was super cool. So I mean, I think it just depends. Like if they think you're cool, I think it wouldn't be that hard to get people to do podcasts and stuff. Just do a quick interview or something like that. I don't know. That's something I should do.
It's weird that you just see they're just people. Like when I worked here, like I was just a food runner, and I saw David A. Arnold, like rest in peace and everything. That guy was awesome. But like it was the first person I'd seen from TV like standing like right in front of me, and that was like the weirdest thing. I just saw him, like I was like, dude, he's drinking water. Like this is so weird. Like,
just like a normal person. I drink water.
It felt so weird.
Well, I'll tell you 100% truth, man. I quit stand-up comedy for a while because of Tracy Morgan.
Really? I've heard that guy is difficult.
He is difficult, and it wasn't what he did on stage. Like I went out and hung out and partied with him for the night, and I'm not a crazy drinker, all that stuff, but I just saw how crazy he was, and then other people would come in after and be like, hey, we had a similar experience. I'm like, man, I don't want that in my life.
Was it one of those things like they made you also do it?
No, it was one of those things like I talked my way into the show to open up for him at UNF.
Okay.
And so afterwards, he's like, hey, we're going to go out party, come with us. And my buddy was also there. He's like, yeah, I'll follow along. So I rode with Tracy. We got to the club. It was Tracy Morgan, John Heffron, who was on. He won Last Comic Standing 2, I think. And so those were the two guys. I'm like, I want to talk to these guys and learn about comedy. I'm like, and so. Like we chat for a couple minutes. I go to the bathroom. I come back and they're like on some elevated like dance stage with like the DJ and they're waving me up. I come up and Tracy Morgan's like, "Welcome to show business, fat boy. You with me now." And like he's ripping his shirt off. He's kissing me on the forehead, like, yeah, baby, he's with me. And I'm like, this is weird. Like they start passing around some illegal cigarettes at the time, and I'm like, whoa, like security guard leans
What,
over.
they were like from out of the country or something?
Yeah.
Like from Cuba? They just didn't.
Yeah. It's
They didn't pay the.
like
they
actual
didn't pay the
cigarettes.
tax.
No. And so I'm like, security guard, off-duty police officer, like leans over and lights it for him. I'm like, there are no rules. Like, I don't know how to deal with this. I'm
wild, yeah.
I'm a rule guy.
Yeah,
We end up back at his hotel, the La Quinta
You went to his
Inn.
hotel?
The La Quinta Inn.
What?
Yeah.
He wasn't even staying at a nice hotel.
No, he was staying at a
Okay.
La Quinta Inn.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's gotten kicked out of too many nice hotels.
And he's just sitting there, just shirtless, covered with Cheetos. He opened a bag of Cheetos on himself, just eating them, going, "Mama, look at me now. I know Lorne Michaels." And just sitting there, and like
saying this to himself?
just saying that to himself, to us,
Whoever could hear him.
Like a bunch of random people started showing up. Like, I don't know if he has like a bat signal, like, hey, like miscreants show up, like weird people started, like some
He's
guy,
got a big entourage. Yeah.
some dude with platinum teeth is like, hey man, can you hold something for me? I'm like, no, I cannot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually have a condition where I can't hold things.
But it's like like somebody said, hey, this is gonna happen, and the police are gonna come. I'm like, I'm out of here. I left, and like the next weekend, like Pauly Shore was coming through here.
Man, that dude's crazy too.
And
you meet Pauly
that guy's
Shore
crazy.
Too?
I've met Pauly Shore.
I met Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore's opener was like, hey. He told me like this is what happened. Yeah, that thing with Tracy Morgan, like all the comedians are like that. Tracy, Paulie's like this. I'm like, man, I don't want to, like, this is not what I'm looking for in life, man. So I focused on acting and improv. I'm like, man, I don't want to do this.
This is clearly not for me, because you're too experienced. Your sample size was Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore, Tracy Morgan. I'm like, but it was also like, man, I don't love this enough to do this, and I didn't take a step back and say, you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna have my own style. But it was good because I stepped back. I'm good now. I had to take a step back.
That's funny.
That is so.
Pauly Shore's crazy. Pauly Shore is. I don't even know. I've had two experiences with Pauly Shore.
Really?
And neither one of them I would say is necessarily him being negative towards me.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I didn't get. I wasn't in his crosshairs in either of the experiences, but other people were. Yeah. And watching him, he just doesn't. I think he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't treat people very well, and I think he thinks it's funny, maybe, or he just has some sort of thing. I don't know. He just doesn't know. He has a social awkwardness that makes him. I don't know. It's just odd.
Is he like? I've never really seen Pauly Shore's act. Is he like a roast comic, or what is he?
That's a good question. I have seen his act, and I can't answer that question.
He does a lot of, hey, remember when?
Yeah.
Hey,
does do that.
this I used to be able, but it was also
like a lot of movies. I'm like
yeah.
out of the loop.
He was more. I would say.
Pauly Shore is. I just know his name.
I'd say he's more famous for being an actor than he is a comedian.
Oh, so it's one of those.
Yeah, so if you know the name, his mother Mitzi Shore ran
Comedy Store, right?
Yeah.
Comedy Store, and so he grew up knowing all these guys. Like, he used to walk downstairs when he was 5 years old and see Sam Kinison and Rodney Dangerfield doing blow, like in his house. Like he grew up. I'm sorry about that.
That being said, it's no wonder
Right.
that he ended up the way he did.
But he is he grew up around it. Like he understands it. He's a big personality.
Yeah,
he's just not a great writer.
Gotcha. He's not a writer?
He's not a great writer. He's good at creating character and being funny, but
that's the LA thing though, isn't it? Like, it's a lot more performance,
right.
like I'm this guy, like I'm here, I'm doing this thing. Like the New York style is more like
and it was also like he was getting like he was like 19, 20 years old right when MTV Spring Break was huge, and like and he's like he's already connected, he already knows all these things, like they brought him in, like so that's kind of what catapulted him to fame. Then he started doing some movies. He was never a great stand up, and he's so much more successful than I'll probably ever be, but you know, just it's not what he was great at.
I feel you, for
sure. And then but he was cool with me, but I also heard him yell at his opener that he let these hicks from Jacksonville be funnier than him. That's one of those.
That's what I'm talking about. And I think I was there when he did that, and or at least I saw him do it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm talking about. I never really got in the Chris Crossfires, but I definitely saw stuff like that. Yeah.
But like he was.
Where's his opener from?
He brought his opener out from LA.
Yeah.
So
and Bob Lawler has some stories about him too. Bob, I guess, emceed for him.
Hypnosis guy. Right?
Yeah, he emceed for him a couple of years ago, like 10 years ago here at the Comedy Zone. But, go ahead.
I will say, I know that I overheard that, and it very well could have been. And I just, hey, you're better than this. Don't come out on the road with me.
We don't know their dynamic
and not do as well as the locals.
Yeah.
So that that is a huge ego thing. If you're on the road and the local guy is, you're the touring guy. So, but still.
Happen, though,
yeah.
I remember stories about Cam Patterson at the Orlando Improv.
Okay.
I think he opened for DC Curry. I want to say that's who it was. But yeah, he got a guest spot, and he killed so hard that people were outside, other comics came to see DC, and they were just dapping him up hey man, I heard you buried the feature, and the feature's standing right there. They just don't know. But that does have to.
Oh yeah.
But now Cam is now it makes perfect sense.
Hey, what can you look at the email you sent me to see what topics you had suggested for today?
Yeah.
Let me see. Well,
Gmail notes?
No, this is a fan mail letter that I was going to read on the air. Ooh. But let me see if we had intended to do Alligator Day.
Yeah.
But if this fits, whatever we're talking about fits with any of the topics.
Talked about alligators yet?
We haven't even talked about alligators yet.
I figured you guys had started talking about alligators, and then you were like, man, alligators aren't that cool. Let's get Amir over here.
This absolutely fits on National Creativity Day.
Yeah. So today is National Creativity Day. And our guest today is
another very creative
Amir Schuman, another creative person. I'm going to read some fan mail. National Creativity Day, that's what we planned on this whole time.
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to, I'm going to read some fan mail from last week. Last week was Brothers Day.
Cool.
So we had...
This kind of fits since you're black.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh boy, I will say, I can't get too detailed on this podcast, but it's a good thing he was the MC. Because the name of Yamanika's special has a word in it that I would not have been allowed to say.
I mean, I don't think
in front of people.
I don't think she knew I was black Thursday. Because when
it started,
she told me the name of the special. She told me her intro, and then she was just like, "Don't worry, you can say that." And I was just like, "Oh, I know I can."
I'm black. I can say that. I've got right. Okay, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. I just
she would have let you say it.
Yeah, wouldn't have. I don't think it's her permission I needed. I think it was everybody else in the audience's permission that I needed.
I mean, that's for comedy shows I've seen when it does happen. A lot of times, it can kill.
I don't want that. That's going to come up later. Listen.
And if you got a children's podcast, you probably shouldn't be doing that.
As nice and polite as the two of us are, do you think we're pulling that one off? Yeah. I would.
I'm gonna get some sort of Disney Channel show, and then they're gonna pull. That's gonna come up. Somebody will have recorded it. Look what this guy said. at the Comedy Zone, it's like, she said I could say it. It's like, who said you could say it? Like, all right, so we're gonna read some fan mail. We don't have too much longer. We gotta start wrapping it up before the doors open for the Comedy Zone. Hello. I just listened to today's podcast about brothers and thoroughly enjoyed it. Hearing all those fun and sometimes violent experiences is fascinating. The only brothers I have are brother-in-laws. Maybe you know them. During the episode, you mentioned William Shatner's albums, which we did. We talked about William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy.
I didn't know he made albums.
Yeah. Oh, man.
They're good?
No. They are worth listening to, though. Which reminded me of his truly unique, in a bad way, Christmas album, Shatner Claus, which, when I read this, I listened to it. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. I used to jokingly threaten my kids with it, saying things like, go to school, get up, eat your vegetables, etc., or I'll make you listen to Jingle Bells, sung by William Shatner. Believe it or not, it actually worked to get them to leave. And I also love the song The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins by Leonard Nimoy. That is a good song. I actually really like that song. So much fun to listen to. Thanks for another great episode, John. P.S. I won't bring up poop or great lengths of time spent in the bathroom. Don't know what was that in reference to?
I'm going to assume Daniel.
Oh, because we said Daniel spends too much time in the bathroom.
So we talked about the Tracy Morgan thing. I talked about my buddy who was there with me that night. One of my dearest friends who passed away since then. But this reminds me, he was also one of the funniest people I've ever met. He had his Twitter handle at the time was Shatner Shorts.
Yeah.
And it was just William Shatner clips and other clips.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that I would recommend listening to William Shatner. Don't pay any money for it.
No.
Oh, there's a lot, and none of them.
Really?
So he takes songs and does spoken word versions of the songs. Like he does Mr. Tambourine Man, and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man," and it's like, and it's ridiculous. Yeah. And there's
this is very Hollywoody.
Yes.
Too big.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, do whatever. Yeah.
And he did, and is the same format for the Christmas album. Like he does it the same way, and it's like Jingle Bells. Jingle bells, jingle all the way, and it's like it's so ridiculous.
It seems like it would be that scene from the movie Walk Hard where he's freaking out and like trying to put together his masterpiece and like bringing in like zoo animals to like record stuff. Yeah. It has that same feel.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. Leonard Nimoy, on the other hand.
Oh yeah. Wow!
I know. Leonard Nimoy, on the other hand, is a very good singer and has some very good songs. So I would recommend. He was Spock, Leonard Nimoy. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if you understood. Yeah.
I had a high school teacher that was really into Star Trek.
Okay.
So I know about all that.
All right. Well, I think we've been pretty much recording this long. Yeah. That was a quick rain. That was very quick.
I found it surprising.
Bobby, where are you going to be coming?
We've got our Shantytown show that is tonight.
It is tonight.
It is tonight.
Oh, is Creativity Night Friday?
Yeah. Creativity is Friday.
Recording it Wednesday. Yeah.
So this comes out Friday.
Tonight, come to Shantytown Pub. John, if you want to come to that show, it is going to be me and Bobby. He was not very happy with the open mic that he came to. He was not very happy with the content of that open mic he came to here at the Comedy Zone. But yeah, if you want to come to that show, we'll be no kids though. He was looking for a show to bring his kids, but not that one.
And you'll have to kind of excuse like the first little bit of the show because
that's true. We got Richard and Brandon. But
they're funny.
They're funny.
Not too
clean though.
Yeah.
But and then so we got that Friday.
Then the following Friday, we have a really good beer stop.
Yes.
I've been working on the name because I always want to call it a slightly different name.
I know it's such
but I've heard cool things, and I've spoken to some of my friends in the Nocatee area who are pretty excited. So
far we have sold 20% of the tickets.
Okay.
In advance right now, so which is not bad. No, more than that. What am I thinking? More than 20%. We have sold some percentage of tickets. We have sold some tickets.
Tickets sold.
We have sold enough tickets to where if only those people show up, it will still be a good show.
Perfect.
So I think we sold like 20, 20, something like that. We sold like 20 tickets. So like if only 20 people show up, it won't be as good as if 40 people show up, but at least it'll be enough to have a show.
Right.
And I'm hoping that there will be a certain number of people that pay at the door too. So, and we still got a whole week.
Yeah, and I do have some family coming in town for events that weekend. A lot of them are supposed to be coming in Friday evening, and I'm still talking them into coming in earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. Now, Amir, where are you going to be at, man?
I actually have been slacking. I'm not really on too much next. I'm doing oh my God, I really wish I knew where this was. I need to figure out where this show is.
You're just gonna
it's
drive
the Diamond Show. Diamond Entertainment Jacks. I'll be there tomorrow. Well, actually, your thing comes out Friday, so I'll be there yesterday.
Yeah.
Go back.
It was a great show.
Yeah, it was awesome.
a great show.
But I'll be at Paper Route next month.
Paper Route's good. Yeah,
That-
June 18th, go to Paper Route. That's a good show.
St. Augustine. That is an amazing show at Paper Route. That is a
great
cool
show.
spot.
Yeah.
Always a fun show.
Tomorrow night, I will be at doing a show tomorrow night.
Hey, man.
What's the name of that hotel that
What is it? The South Bank or the Hampton Inn? Which one is that?
the one oh I don't know.
Is it Flow or is it Tron Station?
Rooftop?
It's what's his name? Don.
Dawn?
Don Pablo. Don Pablo. It's South Bank.
Yeah.
What's that place called?
It's the South Bank.
It's just called the
That's
South Bank?
Hotel.
Oh, South Bank Hotel is the name of that hotel.
Yeah.
South Bank Hotel. Come to the South Bank Hotel Saturday night, the May 31st. It is a fundraiser show. So a very sweet woman, her daughter got hit by a car.
Oh, no.
And she survived, but she has a lot of medical bills, and the mother had to take off work in order to care for her daughter. We are throwing a benefit show. Also, they're going to be. It's an entry fee of $17, which is an odd number, but it's $17 entry. But the proceeds go to this to help with these medical bills.
I'm going to make a guess. It has something to do with either her age or a number that she wears for softball.
Oh, that's probably something. It has something to do with her, probably. Yeah, maybe she's 17 years old or she wears number 17. I don't know. But anyway, it's $17 to get in. Also, they're going to be taking donations, and the highest donation will get a free night at the presidential suite at the South Bank Hotel. Yeah.
Okay.
So the highest donation will get a free night at the presidential suite. So come out to the show, please. South Bank Hotel. Tomorrow night. Check out our Facebook pages. My website is up and running, by the way, joeynickel.com. You can go to joeynickel.com to look at all my dates and information and stuff like that. BobbyParkerComedy.com.
Bobby Parker Comedy on
Do you
socials.
have social media?
Yeah, it's at the Amir Show. If you're a child, don't look at that.
If you're an adult, it's at the Amir Show.
Adults only at the Amir Show. Look
At the Amir Show. And we'll put your social media stuff on the details. Well, thanks for being a part of the show unexpectedly.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, man.
Fun.
I love it.
Well, thank you for listening. This has been the Today Is podcast. I am Joey Nickel.
I'm Amir Schuman.
I'm Bobby Parker.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Let's do it.
Amir, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in.
Cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Are you guys on the Wednesday thing?
No.
I am emceeing, which is terrible.
cool.